Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I would like to share a few of my favorite desserts that will be perfect for Valentine's Day. And we will start from delicious and easy no-bake vanilla cheesecake mousse dessert. It has buttery graham cracker crust, vanilla cheesecake layer, chocolate mirror glaze, and topped with some chopped almonds. First, pulse 70 grams of graham crackers in a blender until fine crumbs. In a small bowl, combine the graham cracker crumbs and 40 grams of melted butter, and mix well. Now let's press a tablespoon of crumbs onto the bottom of each mold. Set aside, and in the meantime, let's make the filling. For the next step, we will need to add some boiling water into a bowl and to place smaller bowl inside with 3 tablespoons of hot water and 3 teaspoons of gelatin. Mix well and set aside. In a separate bowl, beat 190 grams of softened cream cheese and 100 grams of sugar until smooth. Now add in 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract and beat until combined. Add 220 ml of whipped cream and gelatin mixture and beat until smooth. Evenly divide the filling among 6 molds and freeze overnight. For the chocolate mirror glaze, add 2 teaspoons of gelatin into 2 tablespoons of water and let sit for 5 minutes to absorb. Heat 50 ml of water, 90 ml of whipping cream, 140 grams of sugar, and 40 grams of cacao powder in a saucepan. Continue mixing and bring it just to a boil, then turn off the heat. Now it's time to stir in the bloom gelatin until it fully dissolved. Strain the glaze through a sieve and let it cool down a bit. When the glaze has cooled down to 90 degrees Fahrenheit, it is ready to be poured over. Use a stand or cooling rack to position the cheesecakes and collect the excess below. Let sit for a few minutes, allowing the glaze to set. Then transfer cakes in the fridge for 1 hour to firm up while making the decoration. For the decoration, you can transfer the tempered chocolate to a small piping bag with a small hole snipped in one corner. Hold bag about 1 inch above the sheet and then gently squeeze, forming desirable shapes and letters. Allow the chocolate to set completely in the fridge about 15 minutes before carefully peeling and placing on cakes. Meanwhile, you can decorate your cakes with some chopped nuts. Finishing touch, and dessert is ready. Bon appetit! Next on my list, beautiful and delicious red velvet macarons. Follow this easy step-by-step recipe how to make delicate and beautiful red velvet macarons. They are perfectly crunchy on the outside and chewy on the inside. Sieve 75 grams of almond flour, 65 grams of powdered sugar, 1 teaspoon of cacao powder, and half of teaspoon of salt. Mix together and set aside. In a separate bowl, beat 60 grams of egg whites and 1½ of teaspoon of salt until soft peaks form. Now add in 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract and beat until incorporated. Gradually add in 55 grams of granulated sugar and beat until stiff peaks form. Now add the food coloring and beat until just combined. Gradually add the almond flour mixture to a beaten egg whites and gently fold until the butter falls into ribbons. Check to see that the mixture is beaten enough by making a figure 8 with butter as it falls from the spatula. Now transfer the macaron batter into a piping bag fitted with a round tip. Pipe the macarons onto a parchment paper in circles, spacing at least 1 inch apart. Now tap the baking sheet on a flat surface a few times to release any air bubbles. Let the macarons sit at room temperature for 45 minutes, then bake at 300 degrees Fahrenheit for 15 minutes. Meanwhile, let's do the cream cheese frosting. Beat 75 grams of cream cheese at room temperature and 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract until smooth. Slowly add in 125 grams of powdered sugar and 2 teaspoons of heavy cream until the ingredients are fully incorporated. You can add an extra teaspoon of heavy cream if the mixture is too thick. Transfer the frosting to a piping bag fitted with a round tip. Add a dollop of frosting to one macaron shell. Top it with another macaron shell to create a sandwich. Once the macarons are ready, I suggest placing them in an airtight container for 24 hours to bloom. And this is it. Our delicious and delicate macarons are ready. Bon appetit! For those who would like to save time and still impress their loved ones, this delicious chocolate mousse recipe is perfect dessert for Valentine's Day. Prepare 100 grams of white chocolate chips and 100 grams of dark chocolate chips. Heat 180 milliliters of whipping cream and pour over the chocolate. Let stand for about 5 minutes and then give it a good stir. Once the chocolate is completely melted and smooth, set aside and let cool for 5 to 10 minutes. Crush about 4 graham crackers, so we get 50 grams of crumbs. Now let's whisk 320 milliliters of cold whipping cream until soft peaks form. Divide the whipped cream evenly between 2 bowls. Add the cooled chocolate in portions and whisk until all the chocolate is mixed properly. And repeat the same procedure with dark chocolate. Spoon a heaping tablespoon of cracker crumbs into the bottom of the glass. Spoon 1/3 of dark chocolate mousse on top. Spoon another heaping tablespoon of cracker crumbs on top, and then 1/3 cup of white chocolate mousse. Now let's refrigerate our desserts for 2-3 hours to chill. Before serving, you can decorate with some fruits or toppings of your choice. And this is it. Our easy chocolate mousse dessert is ready. Bon appetit!